Hi class, my name is Matthew Hall and I wanted to welcome you to this presentation of organization culture from chapter 18 in our text. I'm going to talk to you over the next 8 to 10 minutes about the nature of organization culture, creating the organization culture, approaches to describing organization culture, emerging issues in organization culture, and then finally managing organization culture. To start things off, I wanted to kind of give you a description based from what we gain from understanding in our text about what is organization culture. Um, it's quite surprising to a lot of people when they realize that there's really not a true definition for organization culture. A lot of people, at least nothing that's widely accepted. A lot of people within the academic community or even just someone working in an organization, they kind of say, sometimes might say something like, this is the way we do things around here. But we all know that there's a lot more elements and a lot more components to the culture that's created and maintained within an organization. Let me give you a little quick background on my story and where I'm currently working and kind of what the culture environment is at my organization. I moved down here from Washington State about 6 months ago, and I live now currently in Charlotte, North Carolina. And once I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I started actively looking for an organization that would help me develop the things that I was passionate about and advance my career within communications. And I was fortunate to get a job with a Christian TV network. And currently, I'm working in partner relations and customer service. But there's plenty of opportunity within the organization to step into more advanced roles in management and different aspects of the communication field. But one of the cool things about this organization is the environment, the culture. We actually have a chef that prepares lunch for the staff free of charge. It's included in our employment, and it's all organic. And it's actually created quite an amazing atmosphere within the staff and the environment. You can tell that we eat lunch together. People get to know each other because really, I mean, most of the time we find ourselves in our offices doing the things that we're doing, and you really don't get a chance to connect with or talk to people you actually work with, your coworkers or your managers. And this really creates a fun environment. So that's kind of one of the things that I've noticed that has helped create a really healthy atmosphere within our workplace. So maybe that's something you can suggest to your managers, and they could implement that. Next, let's talk about creating the organization culture. There's a few components to creating organization culture. One of the big ones is called establishing values. This is important because the values that are established by management, by an organization, they give the groundwork. They actually set the bar for what's expected from the employees. This determines strategic values, which are the basic beliefs about an organization's environment. This varies between organizations. There's not one, stamped method of doing things, but there are a lot of similarities at the same time. Next, cultural values are the values that the employees need to have and to act on for the organization to carry out the strategic values. And this creates kind of a common agreement between the employees to say, okay, these are the strategic values that our organization has. And then these are the cultural values that we're going to implement to kind of make everything come together and run smoothly. Another aspect of creating the organization culture is casting vision. And I know many of us have heard this, whether it's in church, whether it's at school, whatever it might be. But casting that vision, what is the mission of the organization? What are we trying to accomplish? And how are we all going to work together to get there? So this really is an important aspect of creating a culture within an organization because everybody's got the same vision. Next, let's talk a little bit about different approaches to describing organization culture. As we mentioned before in the definition of organization culture, it's hard to really pinpoint a clear definition because there's so many variables. But there are researchers and people who are trying to really get a grasp on organization culture. One of these researchers is named, I didn't really know how to pronounce it. I think it's Uchi. It looks like Ouchie, but I went with Uchi. And it's called the Uchi Framework. William G. Uchi was one of the first to begin to analyze the culture of organizations. He stated that there were 3 categories: 1, typical U.S. firms; 2, typical Japanese firms; and 3, type Z U.S. firms. And so he kind of breaks down the different aspects of these categories. One is an organization's commitment to their employees. This is a key factor. When you get a lot of, maybe some of us have worked in environments where it's apparent that the management really isn't concerned about the employees. They're just fulfilling tasks in order for them to reach their goals. So that creates kind of a, you're assigned a number, and there's really not a name behind the number, and that creates kind of a negative culture. Secondly, is the evaluation of employees. How are employees evaluated? Is it focused on the negative? Is it focused on the positive? And these are real important components to understanding what makes up the culture of an organization. Next, let's talk a little bit about the different emerging issues within organization culture. One of the big ones is innovation. Our text talks a little bit about innovation, and it describes it as the process of creating and doing new things that are introduced into the marketplace as products, processes, or services. And so innovation is really the key aspect of keeping an organization relevant, keeping it up to date as far as technology, being relevant within the market. What services are they providing that are outdated, that need to be updated? So these are all different elements of the research of innovation process. There's different types of innovation. Our text describes radical innovation, systems innovation, incremental innovation. But really what it comes down to, and what it boils down to, is what is the research process, the corporate research process within innovation. Our text states that research is the most common means of developing innovation in the traditional organization. Research development explores potential new technology, which is exciting for the corporate researcher. Now, I know myself, I enjoy doing historical research, biblical research. There's certain types of research that really kind of lights my fire, but some people really enjoy doing corporate research and understanding, okay, what is making things tick? What's making things move? What needs to be improved? How can we implement this type of technology? And some people are really good at doing that. And then finally, to close up this brief presentation on organization culture, let's talk a little bit about managing organization culture. This is kind of a big one because a lot of people, have these high aspirations of getting into management and thinking, I'm going to revolutionize this organization. I remember at one point in one of the organizations that I worked in that I thought to myself, if I ever became the CEO, this is what I would do. But really getting from that point, there's very few managers who are able to get a clean slate or to start from scratch and create the environment that they would want to create. Essentially, most managers inherit the environment. They inherit the culture. So really what they have to do is work with what they've been given and then implement slowly. It's kind of hard to teach an old dog new tricks, but slowly implement different strategies and methods and things that will begin to change organization culture. So that just is kind of a brief overview on organization culture, and I just hope that you're able to gain some insight and information from this presentation. I want to thank you for watching, and now it's your turn to go and make a positive impact on your organization's culture. Happy 4th of July.